Hello and welcome everybody to the very first Gareth Evans Guitar Talk live stream. My name's Gareth Evans, if you haven't realised that already. I've got a very special guest joining me today for our stream, and that is none other than Andre van Berlo. Hello and welcome.
Hey. Yeah, thank you for having me.
You're most welcome, Andre. How's life treating you?
Pretty well. It's been a busy 12 months, the past 12 months.
But, awesome. We can get into that very shortly. I've got a lot to cover today. So I just do want to explain to the people who are watching today, and thanks for joining in, guys, by the way. This is a live stream. We're going to be mainly talking about learning guitar, people who play guitar. It's basically focused around guitar and learning guitar, everything that encompasses basically. So this is the very first stream that I've done on my channel, on this main channel, and I've done streams before, but this is something that I want to do for a few reasons. I know there's a lot of people out there who learn to play guitar through the medium of the internet, and this might be their only exposure to people who or exposure to learning guitar. They might not have anyone else to talk about guitar with. They might not have any other output or input from guitar other than what they see through the internet, through YouTube guitar lessons or whatever. Now this is basically what I want to do here, is just kind of open some sort of forum or discussion all around learning guitar and how to go about it. And just each time we do one of these streams, basically we want to be raising some topics that kind of generate discussion and helping you guys out with whatever issues that you've got, basically. So I did try this before in kind of a forum way. I don't know if some of you might remember fingerstyle guitar forums that I tried. It was like a little bit of an experiment back in the day, a couple of years ago, a bit like this. This is a bit of an experiment to see how it goes. We don't know yet. But unfortunately that died because of a couple of reasons. I was getting a lot of spam messages and I wasn't having the time to be able to delete and keep the place clean. So we didn't have enough administration. But anyway, we're here today. This is what the objective of this stream is for. And also, by the way, for those of you who do prefer the podcast format, we are going to be releasing this as an audio format for those of you who want to consume it in that way. There'll be a link in the description of this video if you are watching on YouTube. It will take you to my website, goliathguitartutorials.com. It'd probably be /podcast if you just want to go directly there, but there'll be a link for it there anyway. Once we finish recording, we can upload the audio to there. And yeah, that's the introductions out the way. Now, why are you here, Andre? Okay, I just want to explain to you guys why Andre's here. Andre is, when it comes to YouTube terms and guitar playing, here's my best friend, okay? This is a guy who's got 23 years experience teaching guitar, is it?
Yeah, 23,
and
just about.
Yeah, we met through, because we both upload guitar lessons to YouTube. We met through YouTube. We've had we've had some collaborations in the past. We've
lived in each other's houses.
Sorry?
We lived in each other's houses.
Yeah, we visited each other. There's a lot of history between me and Andre, or Andre and I, which is why I wanted to bring him in on the very first stream, at least, because going forward in future, I maybe want to introduce more people to answer some questions that you guys have. And by the way, if you do want to leave any questions in the comments of this stream, feel free. We might not be able to get around to some questions on this episode, but what we will do is we'll look back at your questions. If any of our discussion today sparks anything sparks anything from you, leave the questions. We'll come back and we'll review them at a later date and maybe respond to them on another stream or whatever. Okay, so let's talk about you, Andre. Tell the viewers and the listeners about yourself, how you got into playing the guitar, how you've arrived at where you are today, guitar wise.
All right. Well, because I just turned 40. That's of course a long history.
Don't lie to us, Andre.
Actually, most of the people that just get to know me assume that I've been playing from a very early age, but actually I started pretty late. So 16, 17 is when I first picked up the guitar. I come from a very musical family, so my father did a lot of music. He played all instruments, just not the guitar. We had a guitar on our in the living room on display. It was just for, it was just decorational purposes.
Okay.
So, but I never had any interest in playing until when I was 16, 17. I came to a friend's place, and he played Hotel California on the guitar with the bar chords.
Yes.
And I was like, hey man, teach me that song. That's an awesome song. I want to know that. And he said, no, you should do something easy first, like Dust in the Wind, or this is way too difficult. And I said, I don't care. Just, let's just do this for a half hour and see where it goes. So after a half hour, I kind of got the chords going a little bit and the strumming, and I was hooked on guitar right there. And a week later, I did a bet with him, and he was going to get 25 guilders at the time, so that's like 12.5 euros. And I was going to get his guitar for a week. I won because I rarely go into a bet that I'm not sure of winning.
Okay.
So I won, got the guitar for a week, and playing 2-3 hours a day. And right when I had to return the guitar, went out, bought new strings for the guitar we had at home, and started working really, really hard to become better. So, yeah.
Okay, so that was the very beginning. And now you say 16 is a little old for playing guitar. I mean, I was 13 when I began. And a lot of listeners and viewers might be thinking, might be of the older generation, might be older than 60, might be in their 30s
true.
or 40s.
Of course. Yeah. It's not
so let's just put that out there, that 16 isn't exactly old, but when it comes to playing guitar, it's always better to start earlier. But
maybe I should give a sort of frame of reference to when I went to the conservatory, because I started at 16, 17, and I was 20 when I entered the conservatory. So I managed to improve a lot in a very short amount of time.
Okay.
And all the other guys at the conservatory who were there, my fellow students, were playing for way longer than I was. So most of them had started like at 6 years old, 7 years old, 8 years old, maybe some 10 years old, but that was pretty much it. So
so just to explain to the listeners who might not know, conservatory is like the music university or music college.
Yeah, exactly.
Where you studied. And how long did you study at the university?
I did 5 years on my bachelor and then 2 years on my master's degree.
Okay, so for everyone who doesn't know Andre that well, as well as I do at least, you are the founder of yourguitarworkshop.com.
Yeah.
Now, it's been a long road, I guess, since when you left the conservatory up until when you founded your guitar tutorial website.
Yeah.
So how long after leaving the conservatory did you get into guitar teaching? And can you just briefly summarize how you got to putting content online and how that came about?
Actually, the teaching bit started before the conservatory. So
I see.
When I was playing for 2 years, I was already playing things from Dream Theater, Joe Satriani, Steve Vai. Those were I was really into rock and metal at the time. And a lot of guys that, because you're young, you go to a bar and your guy's talking and you find out that someone else plays guitar as well. And they find out that you're doing that music. They're like, hey, are you interested in doing, giving any lessons? And I was like, okay. So from, let's say, 18, 19, I started teaching lessons at my mom's place. So I was still living at home. Wow. And I kept on doing that throughout the conservatory. So Only when I entered the conservatory, I got into a more reputable music school. So I stopped teaching at home, when teaching for a music school, and everything kind of progressed from there. So it started actually all pretty early on.
That is surprising actually, because as a young guitarist with only 2 or 3 years experience, you wouldn't expect to get straight into teaching at that stage. You expect to still be learning, but obviously, you being a guitar genius that you are, you obviously you found your calling in life pretty early in your guitar playing career, I would say, because it wasn't the same for me. But
Yeah, it was. I think for some reason teaching comes natural to me. I'm not sure what it is, though I have to admit that online teaching is something that I really had to learn. So
yeah,
one-on-one teaching is second nature, and it already felt like that very quickly. Maybe because I'm a people person, so I connect. The lessons to me are more about connecting with the student than they are about teaching guitar, because if I can connect with the student, then you get much more quickly to the root of problems. And I guess that's why I was able to successfully help a lot of students early on.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your online tuition and how you got started generating tuition content for the internet.
Yeah, that was kind of triggered by a student of mine. He always came with tabs from the internet and things he had learned on YouTube, and I would be always like, no, it's not played like that. It should be played like this, or and so and after a while, he just said like, hey man, why don't you put lessons online? I mean, I like your lessons here, and I think you would do great on YouTube. And I was kind of thinking about it before that, but that was really for me like, yeah, okay, why not? So I just went to the store, bought a camera, and I think I uploaded first 4 or 5 backing tracks because I was too scared to go on camera.
Yeah,
but I had
I know that
already
feeling.
kind of started the channel, so and one day I guess I just flipped on the camera and made a very long-winded tutorial on soap on a rope, I think it was, from Chicken Foot.
Okay, so awesome. So we met through YouTube, and it was basically us commenting on one another's channels. And I remember finding your channel because you had the split screen format, a bit like what I was trying to get into at the time. So, I mean, it was a bit of an inspiration for me, a bit of an eye-opener for me for, the format of the screen on a guitar lesson. So you were kind of inspired me to get where I am today. And obviously, I remember you commented on one of my videos, and that led to a discussion coming up. And then we talked about collaborations, and then obviously which led to videos on each other's channels, which then led to you inviting me so kindly over to your house, which was in Holland at the time.
Those were fun days, by the way. That was
that
fun.
was awesome.
Don't you have
super,
a vlog
super
on that, on your a video on that, of those days?
On the first visit, I'm not sure I have a vlog on the first visit. Maybe I do.
I think you do. I think you do. It was with Robert. Yeah. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yes. I do remember. Yes. Yeah. I will. If you're watching this at a future date, I will link it in the description of this video, because I do remember now. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun on that trip, and we obviously made videos together. We filmed a theory lesson for my channel. We filmed an interview for your channel, so that was fantastic. And I forgot my next, which led to us coming up with the idea, of a crazy zany idea of getting together and doing like a guitar event. Why not? Well, you just get everybody together. One thing led to another. One idea sprawled into the next, And it was February last year. We held the Dutch guitar event in Dordrecht, which was one of my personal highlights of my whole life, I would say.
Yeah,
it was absolutely
it was
exceptional.
awesome, definitely.
And for those of you who don't know about it, and there's a lot of you who maybe attended, who are watching this now or listening now, and some of you who knew about it didn't attend, we had Eddie van der Meer, we had Peter Gergely from Hungary, Eddie van der Meer from Holland, obviously natively, and also Andrew Foy, all the way from Las Vegas.
That was crazy.
That was quite a coup, wasn't it?
I was already surprised that Peter was able to attend because he had to come from Hungary.
Yeah.
And when Andrew confirmed that he was going to come, I was like, what? Like, this guy comes all the way from Las Vegas to, I was blown away at that moment.
It was absolutely magical how we were able to, 5 of us being YouTubers, and how we were able to link up in the first place and then organize, mainly down to you. You got to take the credit for that. We organized this event where we could all get together. I've actually got a video. I've prepared it for this stream, so I will play it in just a second, like a behind the scenes kind of vlog type thing. So I will play that in a second to give us a break from talking and to kind of enlighten you as to what the guitar event was, and we can kind of talk about our plans for the future. But it basically included workshops, included a Q&A for all the YouTubers and all the visitors. What else did we do? We did a performance in the evening where each of us played, and then we did a collaboration performance right at the very end, which we all prepared, which was super magical. And I guess that's a good place to play the video. So I'll just roll the clip since I have the capacity to do that, and we'll be back in just a second. Check this out.
Hello, I'm Peter Jan, working at 2B here in Dordrecht, in the Energy House in Holland. The plan with Andre to have a big event. There are so many new young guitarists on YouTube. We want to have a meeting with their fans. We see that there are many people who want to meet these guys here. With 75 guitarists all over the world, and they have workshop rounds with all kinds of YouTube guitarists.
So if you could tell me please who you are and where you've come from today.
I'm Minda and I'm coming from Hoofddorp. It's near the airport in the Netherlands.
Yeah, hi, I'm Arthur. I'm from Germany.
Well, my name is Emil and we're both from Denmark.
I'm Rasmus.
My name is Emily Shelton. We came from Dole, which is in France, in the Jura.
My name is Art Houten. I currently living in Tilburg in the Netherlands.
Yeah, it's fabulous. It is so very nice. So many young people, old people coming together in all this workshop rounds.
I came here today to improve my fingerstyle guitar skills and to meet and interact with people from the fingerstyle guitar community from all over Europe, I suppose.
What are your aims for today? What do you aim to get out of today?
Just learning something and getting better.
Well, this is kind of finger picking thing, things like that, and tapping on the guitar and arranging. So I did both workshops on finger picking and one on the arranging, which is great.
They are playing, tapping, do all kinds of fingerstyle techniques, and they go from one workshop to another workshop. They go from Andre to Peter to Gareth. Everyone is happy.
You've been to both workshops now. Did you enjoy the workshops?
Yeah, really.
Do you think the event's been a success?
Yeah, I definitely think you see smiling faces everywhere, so it's a great success. I think people learn a lot.
Are you sticking around for the concert tonight?
Yes, sure.
Definitely.
Cool. Are you looking forward to seeing in the concert?
Oh, all the concerts actually. Yeah, very much.
Thank you very much.
One word, what do you think of the concert?
It was amazing. It was completely amazing. Amazing. I was blown away. That's all I have to say.
The most amazing concert ever.
Magical.
One word, sum up the concert.
Amazing.
It was amazing.
One word, what did you think?
It was really cool.
Very good.
Yes.
We enjoyed it a lot. Thank you.
So our plan is in the future to do every year a guitar event, and I have talked with Andre from Berlo, and he think bigger than that. He said we can start in Dordrecht with the event, but we can also have an event in Budapest or in London. You know, we can do the same thing around the world. So.
Okay, so welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that little presentation there. By the way, some of the music in that clip you just watched was our original music. We actually wrote an EP together, lest we forget. While I was just there over in February, we wrote an EP called What If. That's available on iTunes and Amazon Store and everywhere else. So if you did like the music that was in that clip, go and check out Gareth and Andre. So What If is the name of the EP. So lots of fabulous memories in that clip there. When are we doing it again, Andre? When are we going to do another guitar event? I mean, it's been a year now. I mean, we plan to do a whole tour. What's going on?
First of all, I've been thinking about planning another guitar event due to recent events, and I would love to take time and start working out some ideas and maybe some strategies to come up with some funding to get this together again. Some of the ideas that I got is maybe try multiple cities if possible. I mean, I would be grateful if it would be possible in Holland or in another place, just one spot and do it for an entire weekend or so. That would be amazing. But it would be awesome if we could do a couple of cities to sort of make a mini tour, like places like Berlin or the real sexy cities.
Yeah, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. The reason we didn't do it this year was pretty simple. You had a lot going on in your personal life. You moved from living in Holland. You completely shifted your whole family. Now you emigrated to Canada. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that, about where you are with the whole move and how life is for you at the moment.
It was we immigrated in April, so we moved out of our house in March. That's why I couldn't do any more videos on YouTube because, as you know, I was pretty much to my max stress levels at the end of the guitar event. It was just, 2 jobs, the event and the immigration, and there's so much going on. So, but March we moved into a little cabin in Holland at my wife's mom's place, and immigrated in April. And actually, the immigration went quite well. I mean, I don't think I could have asked for something better. We had great in-between houses, and now we live in an amazing place That's just it's a gift from heaven. It is a little bit tough right now financially. That's one of the drawbacks from immigrating. It's expensive, but
so you quit your job, of course. I mean, you were at your job for how many years?
Yeah, 13
when you were teaching, and you quit 2 jobs to emigrate to Canada and take this leap, as it was, and it is quite it's quite. How can I phrase it? It's a very brave thing that you've done. I mean, whenever I consider a thought in the back of my head of maybe emigrating, one thing that it kind of always scares me to leave everything behind. You know, you're leaving family, you're leaving friends, you're starting a whole new chapter in your life. Now, the reason I would want to emigrate, obviously, is the weather in my country. But, I mean, whenever the weather's bad, the emigration thoughts come into my head.
Yeah, and he's not lying, because I've been in Wales and the weather wasn't always good.
Wasn't always good. It's a complete understatement. It's pretty crappy. I'll
beautiful place though.
So, sorry, say again.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place though, Wales.
Oh yeah. Of course, naturally. So you know you've upturned your life basically. So tell me about your plans for future for your, I guess. You're planning on making an income from the website and continuing on YouTube, I hope. So, what are your plans for sustaining yourself while you're in Canada now?
Well, there's a couple of things. First of all, my goal is to, at some point, completely live from my online income, wherever it comes from. If it's YouTube, the website. That doesn't really matter to me. So what's important to me is that I can sustain my family, of course. I mean, we've got a daughter and we've got another one on the way. Well, we don't know if it's a girl or a boy, but there's another one on the way. So.
Oh, congratulations! By the way, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah. You were one of the early ones in on it.
Yeah. We had the insider information here, so yeah.
Yeah, but no, but it's so that's important. And one of the things that I'm doing is I've always, how should I say this? Well, the thing is that right now on YouTube, I have 300,000 to 400,000 views a month. And it generates about $30 to $40 a month. So that's clearly not going to be enough to sustain my family, not even for a week.
Yeah.
So
it's hard.
Yeah. So one of the things I started doing, I'm starting just to teach locally here, but because we live more in the backcountry, it's a little bit harder to get students.
Yeah.
And I've started to teach online, so do coaching and
awesome.
Skype lessons. So that's not bad, but it's not where I would want it to be.
Okay, so sorry to interrupt you. Tell us about your guitar workshop and your plans for what you're doing on your guitar workshop, because this is your baby.
Yeah.
This is what.
Well, I designed. Of course, people who've been following me for more than a year know that there is a complete overhaul of the website, and it's not just design. So there is really a very structural change been made to the website, so it supports creation of courses, creation of live events, and that's what I want this platform to become, a teaching platform where I can create courses and really get to the specifics of guitar playing in a way that's I won't say that it's impossible, but not the way I want it to be on YouTube. So so there's been a lot of thought in the whole design of the course pages, lesson pages, to make everything so that there is no distraction, that it's all about getting better results, learning to play guitar.
Having had the pleasure of meeting you in person and playing guitar with you, writing music with you, I've got a lot of experience from your from playing with you, and I can wholeheartedly say, hand on heart, you are possibly one of the best guitarists that I've ever seen play. I mean, this guy, check out his Instagram account, by the way. He can shred some licks, I'll tell you that. And B, when it comes to teaching things, you've got a knack for just explaining things in such a simple, uncomplicated way. Because I know we had a lot of discussions while I was over, or while we were chatting when we were meeting each other.
Yep.
We were discussing things like theory in ways that I've never studied theory. You were explaining things that I could understand. And for those of you who have not checked out Your Guitar Workshop, have not checked out Andre's videos on YouTube, go and check them out. Just make a mental note. There'll be links in the description of this video or on the podcast page on my website if you're listening to this on the podcast. It's definitely worth, because it's such a valuable resource. And tell us about your course that you're designing. You're putting your heart and soul into this course. So tell us a little about who it's aimed at, what the content is, and everything.
This course is the result of a lot of teaching experience in one-on-one lessons. I've seen so many places where students go sometimes make bad decisions in their learning process, and in this course I've tried to, and I think I've gotten there pretty close to it, to give students the tools to avoid those moments where they can just keep on learning instead of hitting that plateau where they're working against themselves or being counterproductive. And I just wanted something to be really, really thorough. So when I've seen so many methods and other courses where sometimes the jumps between the lessons and the contents are just too big. And what I've done is I've broken it down to really smaller steps. So so the course as a whole becomes more of a success experience. And that was my main goal, because a lot of people get demotivated because they get frustrated, they can't figure something out, and then they just at some point be like, and they throw the guitar away and that's it. And I think in many cases it doesn't have to be like that. So only if you just take small enough steps, then eventually you're going to get there. So and that's what I've tried to accomplish with this new course. Yeah.
So the title of the course is
Easy Acoustic Guitar.
Easy acoustic guitar. Now that sounds like fun.
Definitely.
So this course that you're producing, it's not complete yet. It's only part of the way through production, and you are at a point now where you're asking for crowdfunding. You've gone onto Indiegogo and you've created a campaign to ask people to help you complete this course. This is a foundation course from complete beginners up until what, intermediate, you'd say, or would it go into advanced?
I wouldn't say intermediate, but intermediate is a very broad spectrum. So I would say to the beginning, to the beginner stage of being an intermediate player.
Okay, so with that said, we should probably introduce the Indiegogo campaign, because that's one thing that I wanted to do for you, being that you are one of my greatest friends, is to share this with people, because the one reason that sticks out in my mind why you guys who are watching and listening might want to be interested in this course is because although I teach so many guitar lessons, so many songs, if your only experience from learning guitar is my videos or somebody else's videos, you do miss out on a lot of the fundamentals in learning guitar, like simple things like tuning your guitar, things like the routine that you practice, things like various beginner concepts that you will just completely miss out on if all you're doing is learning song after song after song. Now, this is where I think this course comes in, because I get so many comments where it's like, oh, I can't tune my guitar, or it's, I can't do bar chords, or how do I improve my finger strength? How do I improve my speed? How do I get this? How do I get that? And I think to myself, well, what you're learning from my videos is pretty advanced, really. It's finger style.
Your less or your songs are really quite advanced guitar songs. There is a lot of complex techniques involved, tapping, harmonics. I mean, they're great arrangements, but that's learning material for the more advanced players. I think.
I mean, I wouldn't exclude newcomers from learning
no, definitely
my
not,
videos,
definitely not.
But there are certain things that, practice routines or whatever, or exercises that you can do, and all the beginner stuff, which I've gone through, and a lot of the guitarists who you see on YouTube now have all gone through that. That learners from YouTube now might be neglecting because they don't understand that this is the kind of thing that improves your guitar skills. It's not just all about the songs. So this is why I wanted to introduce your Indiegogo campaign and your course to everybody, because it'll help me from getting all these silly comments from people who don't know how to tune their guitar or whatever. Without much further ado, we're going to play now the campaign video for your Indiegogo campaign. So I want you guys to check this out, and we will be back very shortly.
There's only one shortcut to really learn how to play guitar. From the start, do it right. Easy Acoustic Guitar is created to be the most comprehensible course online to learn how to play guitar. Theories on a need-to-know basis, without avoiding the things that are essential for your guitarist toolbox. Terminology and concepts are simplified by explaining them to you in layman's terms. And hand and arm movements are thoroughly described, supported by on-screen graphics and multi-camera angles. All lessons are designed to set you up for success through step-by-step instructions and by learning good study and practice routines. Set yourself up for a lifetime of fun making music by doing it right. This campaign is not just interesting for beginners, simply because there are perks that are interesting for all levels. For example, custom course subject. This is a mini course in which all lessons of a specific subject in the course have been accumulated. This means that with a simple mini course you can brush up on your skills and eliminate the problems that have been accumulated over the years. There are also great giveaways among my backers. 3 Baton Rouge guitars, an iSolo pickup, G7 capo, and much more. This is not just a crowdfunding, but this is your chance to support a great course, online teaching, and adding a few good karma points to your life. So contribute now and help Easy Acoustic Guitar become a reality. I thank you for your support.
Okay, and welcome back to this first podcast. Hope you enjoyed the little video we played for you there. That was Andre, my special guest today, his Indiegogo campaign for his new course that he's designing on Your Guitar Workshop. Yeah. And so let's go into a little bit more detail about the Indiegogo campaign itself, what you've got on offer, how people can support you in your production of this new course that you are producing. So talk to us a little bit about the perks. What's on offer for people?
There's a lot of different things to choose from in the lower tiers. Is that the right word? The lower tiers, so $1 to $10, there are things like MP3s, tablatures, and combinations of those things, live events to sign up for. Then in the bit more, the mid-range tiers, they're more course related already. So I think for $15 you can get something like custom course subject. Already explained it a little bit in the video, but it's basically just all the videos of a certain subject, like your right hand technique or your left hand technique, or strumming patterns, or anything that are bundled into a mini course. And I think, especially if you've been playing for a long time, but you think you're hitting that, you think there's something, you notice that there is something wrong with, for instance, with your left hand technique, then a mini course can help you really get a great insight in how the basics work, because essentially all the basic guitar playing skills are in this course. I mean, on an advanced level, you're just going to be playing them faster, but the basic skills are in the basic course.
Yeah.
So even for intermediate players or just people who want to brush up on their skills, that custom course subject could be great to improve without having to buy an entire course. And of course, I don't mention that in the video, but the perks, with these perks, anything that is course related is at a 50% discount. So
okay, awesome. So the whole course itself will be 3 whole modules, or 3 whole tiers.
It goes in 3 stages. So it's quite thorough. So I just almost finished the first stage of producing the first stage. And that's already 120 videos. So there's going to be...
How much will the first stage be available once it's ready to buy for? And then what is the discount on the...
Well, that's a good question, because honestly, I'm going to be looking at the crowdfunding campaign a little bit to see if people are actually interested in buying a section, just a stage of the course. So if that happens a lot, then I will definitely make it available on the website. If everybody skips on that and just gets onto the full course, then I might not go through the trouble to just release sections. I will release it for the people who get the perks, of course. I mean, let there not be any mistake about that. But
of course.
Yeah. But so for me, it's the crowdfunding campaign is also a little bit exciting to see, what people are actually interested in, like what are they looking for? Because it's when you can think of a course and you can think of ways to bring it to the people, but it's just me in my little room thinking of things, thinking how all those millions of people out there are, trying to figure out what they need. So the campaign is really good for that as well.
So the content of this course is obviously what you've experienced throughout the experience that you've built up of 20 odd plus years of teaching. The obviously the very beginner type course, and so let me kind of figure my next question out. The course, if people feel that they're comfortable with certain techniques or methods, can they pick and choose just a couple of modules or a couple of things? I mean, forgive me, because I haven't kind of seen the video.
Okay. So for the when it comes to the custom course subject, I will have a bunch pre-made. So that would be left hand technique, right hand technique, like strumming, posture, things like that. So I will just make a list. But if you're not sure, just go on to the campaign and tell me what you're interested in, and I can tell you if I can make a mini bundle for that for your request. So I'm open. I mean, there are perks, but if you have suggestions, I mean, the Indiegogo allows me to add perks during the course of the campaign, remove perks if I don't think they're working well, unless someone claimed the perk, by the way. Once the perk is claimed, I cannot remove it anymore.
Yeah,
but
of course, naturally, yeah. So, so this campaign's running for 4 weeks. Your target is to generate enough income for you to complete production of the whole course. Yeah. So that's why you're turning to crowdfunding, because you're at a stage where you need to sustain.
I think I've probably made the bad decision in the past to not enable donations before. Yeah, I've never done that. This is my first time asking for a donation.
Yeah. Well, it's not actually a donation because people are getting content, they're getting tuition.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, what we haven't mentioned is that there are prize giveaways as well for everybody who enters.
Yeah, that's true.
Not enters, but everybody who don't.
The like you've seen in the video, I think the giveaways are. I couldn't have asked for more. I mean, there's a couple of guitars in the giveaway from Baton Rouge, the iSolo pickup that's being used.
Let's just talk for a short second. Let's just talk about the guitars, okay? Yeah. So Baton Rouge, what are the value of these guitars? I mean, I know Eddie Van der Meer plays a Baton Rouge, Peter Gergely plays a Baton Rouge, Andrew Foy plays a Baton Rouge, as well as many other prominent YouTubers.
The highest priced guitar in the giveaway is the Baton Rouge letters and numbers Mystique, so Andrew Foy's guitar. And I think the value of it is $670 or something.
So what does your kind of pledge, or what level does that have to be at for you to be entered into the draw for Andrew Foy's guitar?
For Andrew Foy's guitar, it's, I think, 50 and higher. And I have another guitar which is already available at 15 and higher. Okay. And from 10 and higher, you are entered into the iSolo pickup campaign. But it accumulates. So when you're in the higher tier, you have a chance to win both the iSolo pickup, the lower because it's still quite an expensive guitar, but the other guitar and the Mystique. So it's not one guitar for a certain range, but the higher you get, the more access to all the giveaways you get.
And if only a handful of people pledge at a certain amount, then
their odds are going to be pretty good.
Your odds of winning Andrew Foy's guitar can be pretty immense. I might consider myself entering.
Well, that might not be a bad idea. I mean, the thing is that your odds are never going to be better than. I mean, I've entered lotteries sometimes, and usually a lottery means you just buy a ticket and you throw it away the next day, and people do that for years. And the thing is the giveaway is an extra, because I do feel that the perks on their own are already really great value for your supporting money. And on a personal note, you couldn't make me more grateful than by helping me out in this stage of my life. So it's much needed support.
So this is the call out to all you people who appreciate or have appreciated any of Andre's work in the past, the YouTube guitar lessons, the Your Guitar Workshop lessons, any of you who've appreciated the collaborations that I've done personally, or the guitar event itself. This is your way to try and help Andre. I'm doing my little bit here by helping him promote, and you can do your bit too. Awesome. It's all about keeping this community alive and helping people out. So I think this is why I do the whole. This is why I do this whole internet thing, this YouTube thing, to try and build a community, to try and build a support structure, a network, where people can support one another. And it's kind of the essence of this podcast or stream as well, is going forward in future. We want to get more like guitar tuition related content, answer some of you guys' problems that you're having with learning the guitar and things like that, and discussing them on an open forum like this. It's all in the same spirit. We all want to band together, we all help each other out. So for those of you who are interested, and I highly recommend that you do, if you do have any inclinations to do so, check out the link that'll be in the description of this stream or video if you're watching it after the stream, as well as on the page where you downloaded this podcast at my website. And also you could go to Your Guitar Workshop, you could probably find information about it there too. So be sure to check that out, and let's all get together and help out Andre.
Yeah, awesome. I want to add to that I'm happy with anything like $1-2. I mean, I had this idea in my head to make a video like the value of $1. I'm not sure about you all, but I can sometimes get pretty tired of all the ads on YouTube. And especially with the kinds of channels that Gareth and I have, we do not get a lot from the income from that, simply because the songs are copyrighted. So even though we make lessons, it's still of a copyrighted song, and therefore we get little to nothing. And
True.
I kind of forgot where I was going with this. I had this like.
If you remember, then.
Oh yes, but the thing is that I had this idea of the value of $1. So if there is a favorite YouTuber of yours or a couple, and you would give them just $1 a year, that's like 0.09 cents a month, which is nothing.
Yeah.
That means that if a person has just 40,000 subscribers, he can support his family from that already, which means that they can, at a very early stage, go full time with their with what they're doing on YouTube. Yeah. And it's so I'm happy with whatever you can do, but most importantly, if you can't or you don't feel you want to, you can always share the link on your social media. There's going to be giveaways for people who are active on Facebook and Instagram and that sort of stuff as well. I'm grateful for any support that I can get, really.
Well, I for one, I'm going to be banding behind you, Andre. And for those of you guys, like I said, who are maybe interested in pledging or making supporting this Indiegogo campaign, $1 or $2, even if that's all you can afford, then I'm sure Andre will buy you I'll give you a virtual hug from the other side of his
definitely
screen.
Yes,
virtual hugs all around for everybody. Okay. with that's done and dusted, we want to move on to another topic now. We want to start opening the topic of guitar lessons, guitar learning, people having trouble playing guitars, anything and everything. Now obviously some of you guys may have been commenting in the stream as it's been going along, asking questions. We will get to some of those questions and maybe in the next stream stroke podcast. So leave all your questions that are concerned, that kind of develop in your mind as you're listening and watching this, in the comments. We'll get around to them. But for today's stream, I did want to kind of bring up some beginner kind of concepts. And one question, as you are the authority on guitar lessons, as you were, one thing, or a couple of things I want to ask you. Firstly, why do you think it's important for people to learn the fundamental skills of playing the guitar rather than jumping straight in with the advanced stuff? Why is it important to get a good foundation of playing?
That's a really good question. The thing is that I think if you jump in the advanced stuff, then you're probably going to be the person that's going to be saying, I feel that I'm doing everything right, but it still sounds like crap. You know, because to develop certain skills, to make things sound smooth, you know, to really connect certain parts together in music, you need the routine and to be comfortable playing it. And when you just jump into the hard stuff, you're going to be forcing yourself. That's going to be present in your technique. So you're going to be like, you know, you see many times you see people really like, you know, with their face all wrinkled, like, you know, trying to play that hard part. And if they would just have stepped back a little bit and then I saw you smiling. But if they would just step back a little bit, just do the basic stuff first, then they would just have much more fun learning the advanced stuff. So I am, and the other thing is that when they're developing bad technique, that's also how you at some point can develop injuries. I mean, there's, you know, anyone who has it wouldn't be the first to have I don't know if it's the muscles or now I'm lacking English vocabulary, but there is some things in your hands that you can just really start to ache if you just do things wrong for too long.
And the other thing as well, I think, is that if you don't tend to the fundamentals, like you said, you're training your technique incorrectly, so that when you get to certain other advanced things, then you know you'll be found out in a way. You'll not, you know, you'll
think
soon
it'll
come
be
unstuck.
impossible for you. You'll think I can do that but that's just on the basis of your poorly developed technique. So if you have a nicely developed technique like yourself, then you don't meet those barriers that quickly. So you don't get to that point where you're going to be like, oh, this is impossible. It's just a matter of practice.
So the way I see it is that, you can learn the hard things pretty early on, and you'll get quite far with that. I can imagine, because I've seen a lot of people through the people I have had Skypes with who've learned only from my guitar lessons. Their early kind of progress goes really fast, but then it plateaus because they're unable to get the more advanced things like the rhythmic thing. That's one of the things that a lot of the people I've Skyped with do struggle with. So, all right, they might have the quick progress at the start, but they'll take so much longer to get to the expert level because they don't have them fundamental techniques. Now, if you do take the time in the early stages to set the foundations correctly, then you'll be slower to begin with, but eventually your graph will be off the chart because you'll have everything in place to be able to reach the highest heights, as it were. So
there's also a difference between like talent. So some people are like very talented to learn an instrument, so everything comes really easy to them. They have, for some reason, a knack for looking at something and then translating that to their own body. So it might not go for everyone, but like averagely speaking, it really pays off to lay a solid foundation in the first year of guitar playing, and that foundation will last you a lifetime. You will have so much. It will be so beneficial for the rest of your life, or when it comes to guitar playing. Yeah, it's really, really good.
So if anyone who's watching or listening are suffering from some of these related issues right now, just remember to drop your comments. So how you think about this, even if it's after the stream, we will read the comments. I always read every comment anyway. Drop them in the comments section, and we can maybe because I would like to have you back on another show again because although this is the first one, I do want to pick your brain a lot more because you do have a way of explaining things a lot better than me. So we're going to have Andre back in the future on this stream or show, and now's your chance. If you've got anything technical that you want to ask, either Andre or I, then leave your comments because this is kind of an opportunity that you probably won't get again, or you might get again, but it's like this is your chance now. Like if not now, like one saying that I've learned recently that I saw a lot. I saw it on a show that I was watching. If not now, when? And actually, I actually saw that on TV. I think it was Oprah that said it in one of her infomercials or something. But I think it's a really good thing to kind of motivate people to into action.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
That's one that's kind of stuck with me. So if not now, when, guys? So let's move on.
So on that note, if you feel that you want to do a pledge now, do it now and then come back immediately.
Exactly, yeah.
sorry.
Pause this stream and come back. Yeah, of course.
That was probably a very bad, but that's okay.
It's fine. We're all friends here, Andre. We're all friends. Okay, let's move on to the next point of discussion that I wanted to bring up, and then I think we are kind of running a bit late on time, so and we might have to push some of these kind of topics to the next time that we get together, whether it's next week or in 2 weeks' time or whenever. Okay, one other thing is the way that I imagine people learning on the internet, that, like I mentioned right at the beginning of this podcast, that some of them might not have the framework or the support work or the peers when they're learning the guitar. They might just be themselves. They might not have any other input to the guitars. That the only time they play the guitar is on their own. They don't have any friends or anything like that. So how important do you think it is that that people actually get good feedback and accurate feedback on their own playing to help them along in the learning process?
I personally think feedback is essential. As an example, I've studied at the conservatory for my bachelor and my master's degree, and also there, the value of the education there is that you get feedback. It's not that you go to the conservatory and they hand you a couple of books on how to play guitar. There are master teachers there who look at you play, listen to you play, and they give you feedback. And that's how you can exponentially grow. So you can learn things on your own. I'm not saying that's impossible, but with feedback, it goes so much faster because someone else looks at you and says, "Oh, but that doesn't sound right to me," or "You're making a pause here, you shouldn't, you should be keeping rhythm," and that's the funny thing is that I had a student the other day, and he said something that I hear when I was in Holland, and I had many students. I would hear like 20 times a week that would be like, "Yeah, but at home it worked great, at home I was playing great. But for some reason, it just never works out in the class." And I said, "Well, I know why, because I'm playing along with you, and now suddenly there is someone that keeps you on time. So suddenly you cannot hold back a little bit and then speed up a little bit." And all these things, if there is no, that's unconscious. So you don't know it while you're doing it.
Yeah.
You don't know that you're slowing down or speeding up. It's just when there's someone playing along with you, then and so, it's with a lot of things like that. People think that they don't understand why they can't switch chords quickly, and I just have to take one look, and usually it's like, well, there's your problem, but because you're so into it yourself, you don't see it. So
and also another tip for people who are learning online through YouTube, who don't have, like I mentioned earlier, recording yourself and filming yourself and uploading, getting feedback of people that way, and also getting feedback from yourself, just listening to yourself. That's a good way, because it doesn't always have to come from outside. If you are on your own and isolated.
Recording yourself is a really valuable source for giving yourself feedback, to just, take the time to look at yourself play and then compare it to the original that you're trying to, the original song that you're trying to learn, and then see what's the difference. And yeah, you can do a lot with video, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, so we are just about out of time, and there are so much more that I wanted to bring up, but unfortunately, for this one at least, we are out of time. Thank you so much for joining us and allowing me to pick your brain today, Andre.
Here.
And like I said, I do want to invite you back for the next time that I do this, whether it's next week or in 2 weeks' time. I don't know. Everyone who's watching this or who's watching this video in future, let us know if you enjoyed it. What are the things you want us to talk about? Because again, feedback is the way that we improve. So we touched on that. So we want to improve what we're doing here on the stream. You guys can help facilitate that. Leave your comments, leave your feedback, and we do appreciate that. And that is just about it. Is there anything else before we leave today, Andre, that you wanted to bring up? Other than thanks for watching? No.
Yeah, maybe. Well, before you go to bed, go to the crowdfunding campaign and make your contribution.
Oh,
that's the only thing that's the only thing on my mind right now.
Yeah, everybody get over to Indiegogo and just just enter the, for a chance of winning an awesome guitar, such as the likes of what Andrew Foy plays.
Yeah.
This is your best chance to get one. So get over there. And thanks for watching or listening if you're at my website. And thanks for participating, if I can say that correctly, in this stream. Thanks to Andre, thanks for watching, thanks everybody, thanks all around, and we will see you again in the next stream. Until then, as always, bye for now.
Bye for now. Yay!
Yay!